In the blink of an eye, Dr. Doom managed to conquer the entire world. And now the united heroes of the Marvel Universe scramble to try and figure out how that was possible. Though perhaps the biggest threat of all may very well be a world wherein hearts and minds are one by the new Sorcerer Supreme. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of One World Under Doom issue number 2 and find out together, shall we? So then, Dr. Doom may very well have taken over the Earth, but that doesn't mean that the heroes still don't have to clock in and do their regular superheroing. We get to hang out with the Fantastic Four as they deal with a group of runaway robbers, all the while talking about what their next course of action should be to try and undo Dr. Doom and rescue the world from his villainous clutches. Here's the problem though, the harder the heroes actually look into what Doom is doing, like his brand new universal education projects, they are slowly but surely coming to the horrible realization that there's no obvious smoking gun this time around. Doom says he's giving people free school and he actually meant it. No mind control towers, no pro-Doom curriculum, just exactly what it says on the tin. Better, in fact, actually, according to Sue. Reed still has hope. Most of the world still isn't drinking the Doom Kool-Aid. They are rightly scared about the idea of their nations being annexed and their democratically elected leaders turned into puppets of Doom and Latveria. But still though, every day that goes by, Doom ends up earning more hearts and minds, like when he killed Red Skull and Baron Zemo, while also saying that the heroes never had the guts to do what he did. Oh, but it goes so much deeper than that, as it seems that people even within the superhero community, like Valeria Richards, are trying to get the truth about Doom's new world order directly from the horse's mouth. In fact, Valeria actually lies to her parents so that she can meet up with her favorite uncle and godfather. As Doom explains, Valeria is one of the few people on Earth who has the actual respect of Doom, but also the love of Doom. In short, he cares what she thinks, and Valeria actively wants to know why Doom is doing what he does and what the ultimate end goal for all of this is. And of course, because Doom is Sorcerer Supreme and Emperor of Earth, he's not just gonna sit there and tell her like a normal person. Oh no, he's gonna make this a big cosmic teachable moment, starting by teleporting the two to Toronto City Hall. Well, actually, he calls it an unremarkable Canadian city, but again, if you're from here like me, it's so obviously City Hall. God, I freaking love that Ryan North is Canadian and he's actually factoring in Canada into this big globe-hopping storyline. In fact, as I just learned, he's from Osgood, Ontario, which is like 3 hours away from where I live. Now, as Doom explains, he has brought Valeria here to a city known for suffrage, multiculturalism, and governance, so that they may have a spirited debate on the topic of democracy. In fact, Doom basically challenges Valeria to espouse the benefits of democracy to him in a way that could sway him, and Valeria is pretty good in her argument, saying that yeah, democracy isn't always perfect, but as far as other styles of government goes, it's basically the best one we have so far. You know, will of the people, rule of law, the rejection of anarchy and might makes right ideologies, etc., etc. Doom, of course, vehemently disagrees. He asks Valeria why she understands that anarchy on an individual level is bad, yet somehow she accepts it, when it's 200-odd nations all jockeying for control, power, and resources, stepping on each other and individuals along the way. In Doom's perfect world, though, all of these issues would be addressed. One nation, one world, one people, all pulling in one proper direction. Valeria says, yeah, that might sound nice on paper, and it's certainly a good sales pitch on Doom's part, but he doesn't really believe it, does he? Surely Victor is doing this for the same reason he does anything, for glory, to rub it in people's faces, to say that he solved an unsolvable problem. And that is, of course, before they even address the biggest elephant in the room, and that is, of course, the matter of consent. Doom did all of this without asking anybody. He used his power and influence to thrust his will upon the world, and I mean, well, that's pretty damn fascist at the end of the day, isn't it? Though Doom really hates the F word. As he puts it, all fascism is built on the bedrock of lies, but Doom isn't lying. He is the greatest being in the universe, and as such, he is uniquely suited to take the reins of the world for the betterment of everyone. So yeah, looks like Godfather and Goddaughter are gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. Now it's after that the Fantastic Four makes plans to ambush Doctor Doom during his next big address to the UN. They figure he surely must have some big evil plan or speech in mind, and what better way to undo a strongman dictator than kicking his ass very publicly and showing that he's not strong at all. And when Reed and the others get to the UN, there's a whole armada of Doombots waiting for them outside, which certainly seems like an evil move, doesn't it? Only what the first family don't know is inside the UN, Doom is offering his next great gift to the world, the dissolution of all borders, and the enactment of true universal freedom of movement. Starting today, everyone is free to live and work wherever they want in the new Latveria. Again, sounds like a pretty sweet deal, doesn't it? The Fantastic Four end up completely missing this memo when they break down the wall, in an attempt to apprehend Doom, once again completely misunderstanding how his message has really managed to resonate with the everyday rank-and-file Joe Schmo. You see, Doom doesn't have a regular security detail, he just has a bunch of people holding special Doom guns. These guns will actually explode and kill them if they're tampered with by the heroes. They're not your traditional henchmen, they're just people who are willing to lay down their lives for Doom's world vision. And as Victor says to Reed and the others, do you hate me enough to end these people's lives just to stop me? Are they not entitled to see the world in their own way and put their faith wherever they should like? So yeah, it looks like once again Doctor Doom has managed to build the perfect trap for the heroes, wherein they can't really do anything without looking like huge villains themselves. Oh, but the best is still yet to come. You see, Emperor Doom says that he's not mad at the Fantastic Four for trying to undo him, and that in the brand new Latverian order, gifts will be extended to all, even heroes. For today, Doctor Doom plans to use his amazing magical abilities to do what Reed Richards could never do. And that is fix Ben Grimm the Thing once and for all, even though, as Ben says, he's been over this with Reed 100 times, he's not mad at him for not being able to cure his affliction, and besides, he's grown to love himself as he is. But once again, that whole theme of consent kicks in as Doctor Doom uses his powers anyway to turn Ben back into a regular human, complete with a loss of his amazing abilities. Again, did Doom do that because he thought it was the right thing to do, or did he do it because he knew it would be a nice middle finger to the Fantastic Four, taking one of his greatest foes off the table? It's after that we're actually treated to a very nice cross-section collage of different Americans being asked how they feel about Emperor Doom. You've got the racist cowboy who says, yeah, sure, he's a fascist and a dictator, but I'm doing better than I was 4 years ago. I hope he goes after the vampires next and gets rid of them all. That is ended up juxtaposing by a migrant worker who's happy at the idea that he might finally be able to stay in America now without having to worry. Then you have a third guy saying, but surely dissolving the borders will create an immigration crisis unlike none we've ever seen before, only for him to turn around and go, yeah, but the country's been going to shit anyway. Maybe I'll just go somewhere else. Now, this has been a pretty Fantastic Four heavy issue, so after that we end up actually checking on in with Captain Marvel and the rest of the Avengers. They admit that they've been losing the PR battle to Doom left, right, and center. But they're more confident now because they finally know what kind of battle they actually have on their hands, and the plan is to split into two different groups. Scarlet Witch and a bunch of magical heroes are going to try and dissolve Doom's power base amongst the other world leaders by finding out what, if anything, he actually has on them to make them fall in line. That espionage mission will have to be secret and clandestine, meaning that the other group of Avengers are going to have to be very loud and very in Doom's face to try and draw his attention. Thankfully though, Doom's taking over the world has created a bunch of different types of enemies for the brand new Emperor, meaning that the Avengers aren't going to have to fight this battle alone. They're actually going to be backed up by, get this, a newly convened Masters of Evil made up of the likes of MODOK, Dr. Octopus, Arcade, and more, who officially joined the anti-Doom resistance as the comic comes to a close. And so that was One World Under Doom issue number 2, everybody, and I gotta say, I'm really happy with what Ryan North is doing with this series. Issue 1 was definitely not a fluke. This is a thinking man's comic event if I've ever read one. One that's not afraid to spend a good portion of its runtime just talking about political theory. It's also very topical too, but not like in a super obvious way. Obviously, times are tough all over the world right now. Inflation is through the roof. There's new wars, political uncertainty, and in times like that, when people are scared and have no hope, they usually end up turning to strongman dictators like Doctor Doom. Only, you know, in the real world where that stuff totally sucks ass, this is a comic book and Doctor Doom is an endless endlessly fascinating, incredibly enjoyable character to read about. His greatest power really is that he believes his own hype. And I have to wonder, did he really end up bewitching all those other world leaders, or is the big reveal going to be that, nah, the world is just so messed up, Doctor Doom barely had to do anything? It's also just super cool to see the Fantastic Four and their story take center stage in a big Marvel event again. Feels like it's really been forever, and I guess because we got that new movie coming out soon, it ends up working as just the best kind of synergy. I really ended up loving this issue, which is why I give it a much deserved 9 out of 10, and I can't wait for issue 3.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.